Starting live video. I think gone are the countdowns. Look at this. It is a very festive morning. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, we'll start with this beautiful shot. Hello, Rochelle. Boo. Good morning, good morning. How is everyone? Yeah, I'll start with this little glimpse of festivities. It is going to be a very, hey Mel. Hello, Yaya. Very festive, magical morning. It's going to be, gotta tell you, it's going to be really, really good. Hello, Sarah. How are you? All right. There's so much stuff. I like, this is really all I can even share right now because there's stuff everywhere. Everywhere. I've got little demos set up. I've got bins of products set up. Over here, I've got samples set up. Listen, it's a whole little peek. But I'm going to wait till we get some people here. Hello, Tracy. I'll pull around. Hey, Zoe. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the studio. It's Christmas time. It is a holiday release. Exciting. I think we've been waiting for this day. Hey, Anita. Hey, Ada. How are you? From Singapore. Hello. Hello, Laura. I know it's a festive day. Look, Mario is already at work. He's over there.
Oh, it's Christmas.
I know, it is. I got to tell you that the studio last night, it was like just Santa's workshop. We were so busy getting ready for stuff. Hey, Rosetta, how are you? Hey, Kath. We'll be coming to see you soon, Kath. So, yeah, we have a lot of really cool stuff. It is exciting. Tracy's in the car. Nice. Thanks for tuning in. Yes, we are excited about Idea-ology because it is the holiday release. And quite honestly, we were going to release it earlier. Hey, P, how are you? We were releasing it earlier this month. I know many of you have been asking about it, saying, when are you going to do Idea-ology, of course, but Hurricane Irma delayed us a little bit because Advantis is in Jacksonville, Florida. So they were shut down for a few days, but back up and running in full swing, and we wanted to release this because Idea-ology, the exciting thing about this release, besides there's so much stuff, you are definitely, hey, Margie, how are you? You're definitely going to want to pull up a chair because there's so much to share. Seriously, so much. It's going to be, I don't know. I don't know if I can keep this one under an hour. I'm not sure. But the cool thing, what I was saying about Idea-ology is it is shipping now. It'll be shipping this week. So, hey, Heidi, how are you? Heidi from Simon. So we are really excited about that. The fact that we wanted to wait to be able to actually show the Facebook Live, do the release, and know that it was shipping. Because I know that's really important to me and to a lot of you, that you see something and you want to know, like, when could I get it? When is it going to be in the stores? Well, that's going to be now. So that was kind of the whole delay. I know a lot of people online especially were saying, when are you going to share it? When are you going to share it? Well, now you know why. But we're here, up and running, full swing. So there's Mario again. I'll just kind of, there you go. Yeah, there's a little smiling face. He will be on the computer. If you have any questions, please ask. It's going to be a lot. Hey, my sister's here. Hey, Shell. Carrie, Allie. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff, and I'm just waiting for some people. It looks like we got quite a good group in here already, and I'm going to, I know. Everyone's here. Tis the season, people. Tis the season. It's exciting. So I'm going to just kind of go over. I'm going to turn this around real quick and show you that I just did a little setup just to show you that this is kind of a fun way. When I do holiday crafts, I do like to take advantage of these little muffin tins and fill them with little trinkety things, because especially if you're doing a lot of Christmas things, this is really cool because you can take things like this and work your stash. But I just wanted to make a cute display to start up. I'm going to talk about how I did these, but let's just be honest. Look at these. Remember those trucks I've shared before on earlier Facebook Lives? Well, now you know why I wanted them so much, because they fit the Idea-ology woodlands so perfect. How cute. It's a great little display. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get the camera set up, and we're going to get this thing started because, like I said, I've got some little technique demos, a lot of product to share, so let's get going. All right, let me put this up here. Hopefully I do this okay. Always makes me nervous. One time I did this and kind of pushed mute, so hopefully we'll be all right. I think I'm secure. Everyone's good. It can still hear me. So let me just clear the decor off of here. I know, so cool, right? All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Really, I appreciate it so much. I absolutely love doing these Facebook Lives. It gets a little nerve-wracking because I want to have everything prepped. That's the whole thing. I want to have everything ready to go to share with you. So we definitely worked quite a bit. I'm going to take you through and talk about all of the Idea-ology holiday release. And again, this holiday release is shipping this week from Advantis. So you definitely want to check with your local and online retailers. And I'm going to also preface with this. Now, for those of you that have been getting your Halloween craft on, that is awesome. Halloween is selling very, very quickly. I will say that this seasonal stuff, this usually sells out really quick. So by October, it's almost gone. So if you like any of the stuff that you see in the holiday release, as soon as your favorite retailer gets it, get it for the holidays. Buy for the holidays. If you're planning holiday parties or crafts, you definitely want to get it because this stuff goes really quick. And there's a lot of cool stuff. You'll see the returns of some of the favorites, but also, of course, lots of new stuff. So let's talk about paper, because that was the only thing that we really shared a glimpse of in the Instagram when I did the whole Facebook Live announcement. We'll talk about the new paper stash. Now, the paper stash, when I do seasonal stuff especially, I always stick in the 8x8, and I know many people say, well, why not 12x12? Well, simply because you can take this, you can patchwork it if you are going to create a scrapbook page, but this is really key because I think this size really lends itself to cards and gift tags and home decor and party favors and all the things that we like to do for the holiday season. And this one's really cool, this Christmas one, because again, we brought back some of the favorites like these collage pieces that fit the fragments. But you'll notice that there's a new color that's kind of thrown in. It's this really great kind of tealish turquoise, and you have Paula to thank for that because she wanted to throw in a whole new color. But we've included these great little watercolor sketch pine and berry branches. There's a cool back of kind of this weathered wood plank. Some great little chevrons, polka dots in green and also in red. Take a look at this plaid. Boo, this one's for you. Look at this buffalo plaid, how cool is that? Then there's kind of a great little Nordic pattern, and you'll see a lot of this stuff kind of mimics in the stamps and stencils too. There's a great little pinstripe in red. Take a look at that one. There's that color. Oh, it's really cool. This goes really well with a lot of colors in the distress palette like evergreen bough, tumbled glass, that sort of thing. There's a really great, look at that, festive kind of floral print. This one, this little black and white sketch. Now remember, in this paper pad you get 2 of each of the pieces, so of course they're front and back. So definitely want you to use this up. Then of course we have the text that is black and white. Look at this plaid. Margie, I think this one has your name all over it. Really, really cool. Then just a black and white plaid. This will probably have Meg's name all over it. Then there's the red polka dot. You'll see some green stripe. Take a look at that. Adding some black into the holiday too, you're going to see that this really helps a lot of the projects that we made with it pop. You wouldn't think normally that you'd want a black background, but it's really, really great for holiday projects because it makes everything else you put on top of it pop. And if you're into the whole chalkboard look, that's a very cool piece. And we've got another plaid. So you'll see there's several different plaids in this particular release, different colors, different scale. There's that text in reverse with the black background and white writing. And then of course there's that color again with these snowflakes. And of course another plaid, and this plaid has that color. And I'll say it's kind of a minty teal. It's not really turquoise, but there again, it's not really cracked pistachio. It's just kind of it's a cool magic blend color. So there is the paper stash for this release. And of course the paper stash inspired a lot of things in this whole collection. First up, we have design tape, because of course we can never have too much tape. And you will see that this tape, look at that. This tape kind of really coordinates with all of those elements, including a couple of those plaids. There is that blackberry and pine. We've got the text, the stripes, the Nordic. We've got the stars, and then of course a little sparkly tape that's in there as well. And that's everything in the design tape. Really, really good. But then there's another paper pad, because again, if you're doing note tags and cards and things like that, I love the Idea-ology craft stock. Again, craft stock is a craft color paper that is printed with a color. This year what we did, instead of doing the solids, because you know we have the solids in the everyday line, we do craft stock in metallic as well as the solid colors. Decided to, just like what we did for Halloween when we were printing the orange and black, we decided to do a red and white. So you've got a really great plaid, you've got all sorts of cool patterns. Now what's nice about this is when you die cut it or punch it or sand it, of course it's going to reveal the craft stock that's in there. There's polka dots, red and white and red, another Nordic pattern. We've got some really cool, this is kind of like a beaded garland, some trees, and some stars, and of course our peppermint stripes. Cool. So that's craft stock. So there are two paper pads. One's going to be the print and one's going to be the craft stock. All right. Then we've got just so much stuff. I'm just going to kind of bounce around and hope you guys stay along. Again, if you have questions, I know it's a little on the delay, but that's all right. If you have some questions, just feel free to ask Mario. And if he has time, if I take a breath, he'll ask him out and I'll help you out. Take a breath. All right. So we've got Deco Sheet. This is new this year. Of course, we did this for Halloween. And we also wanted to do this for Christmas because we have printed on Deco Sheet. So Deco Sheet is this sparkly adhesive back vinyl that you can die cut, you can punch. This particular one has the peppermint stripes. It's got these little red polka dots and these red stars. And what's really nice about this, you get two of each of the sheets. Again, they are adhesive back, they're very thin, but take a look at that. It's got this great little sparkle, but there is no glitter in there, so you don't have to worry about anything rubbing off. So this is a really great way to accent a card. Yeah, you could totally use it for Valentine's after Christmas because that red and white palette, but a favorite, really like that. And then of course we have some other accents. Now one of the accents that came back that I'm really happy about this year, I don't think they'll make it another year sadly, it's my favorite, so I've already stocked up, but these are the alpha parts, and what they are, this is adhesive back plastic. Now this plastic is completely clear, but it's already sticky back, so what's cool about this is you've got icicles, you've got snowflakes, and you just snip it out from the matrix, and then you could attach it to your projects. And what I like to do with these, even though they're already clear and they look icy, is put a little glossy accents over the top of this and dust it with clear glitter, and it makes it even more sparkly, more icy. So this has been one of my favorite products, but I think this will be the last season that we bring it out. So again, if it's your favorite, definitely want to get it. Then we've got some rubs. Now, this time for rubs, I wanted to do stuff that I felt, we always watch social media. We look at how you guys are using the products in previous years, and that really impacts what we design for the following year. And we notice that so many people are putting little words and little accents on cards in your projects. And so the remnant rubs, we really wanted to do that. There are 3 different fonts in this. Now, the remnant rubs come in a sheet of this black and then also one with white. So you'll see that there's also the sheet behind it has the white writing. And what's really nice about this, of course, is that these can all be cut out and you could rub it onto glass, to metal, to cardstock, whatever. So remember, you get a sheet of black print and a sheet of white. And you'll see that it's got a really nice block font. Love this handwritten script font. And of course, the typewriter font and little stars and little accents. So these remnant rubs are really nice for a lot of different projects. And having all these small little mini words, really good, especially if you like to do planners. These are perfect to fit into your planners. Then of course we have metallic rubs, and I'll try to let the light hit that. These are really cool because these are gilded. These are a foiled rub, and it's a one-step, so you don't have to put on adhesive and then apply the foil. This already transfers in a foil. And there again, in this pack, you get a sheet of gold, and then the sheet behind it is silver. And what's nice about this, you'll see these are a lot more different, diverse kind of fonts in here. These are all inspired by different postcards and vintage greeting cards. Nice thing about this, of course, is these are bigger for home accent pieces. So I think that's really cool. Again, these are remnant rubs, so you can put these on a glass of votive or a plate charger, anything that you want to do around the house for the holidays, or of course, just use it in your paper craft or mixed media. So, like those. Then we've got some stickers. Now, these are metallic stickers. The labels, again, very, very popular last year, so we brought them back. This is gold and silver. So there's a whole combo in here. In other words, I'll try to hold this up so the camera can zoom in on that. There's different accents around these labels. Some are polka dot, some are stripe. Now, in this particular pack, let's see if it's on the back. There you go. You're going to see there's a whole combo of colors. You're going to get gold accent with black, gold accent with white, silver accent with black, silver accent with white. And the nice thing about these labels, they're just peel and stick, so you can use them for packages. Perfect time for the holidays. You can use your white pen to write on the black ones like chalkboard, and any other pen to write on the white ones. So these labels are really, really cool. Hey everyone, I see everyone joining us from Australia, Northern California. Thanks for joining us. It's fun. I love to share the new releases with you guys first. It's very cool. Then onto the stickers, we have metallic stickers that are words. Now, same thing on these metallic stickers. You'll see that it's a black background with gold metallic, white background with gold metallic, black background with silver metallic, white background with silver metallic. And we really try to give you an assortment in here. These are all individually cut little phrases. So season's greetings, remember this. They're, again, perfect for gift tags, cards, planners, but it has just that little metallic accent. I know the packaging is kind of giving a glare, but I'm trying to do my best to show you. Really cool. And a nice, really great font. Very classic. I like that. All right. So let's talk about some of the other stuff, because there was some new stuff that we released at CHA this year that just people can't seem to get enough of it. And we did a Halloween version, and all of you guys were so excited about it. Well, of course, we had to do a holiday version. Now, the first one are clippings. So clippings are little clipped words and phrases from books. And we have the original clippings. We did a Halloween. Well, this is the Christmas one. So these are so great because in here you get 4 different sheets. They're all completely different than what's in here. And I'll just open these up just to pull them out. I'm not going to read all of them because I'll get a little carried away if I do. But what's great about this, again, is they're all just different words, point sizes, things that you can use for everything. Christmas greeting, wondrous tidings, I'm feeling Christmassy, just cool stuff. A visit from Santa Claus, covered with snow. I think many of you are really finding how functional these clippings are because they're fun to create your own little phrases on projects. So the clipping stickers for Christmas, definitely a fave. Now, when you take these off, because they are stickers, they are designed to be wonky. They are cut wonky, so they're not going to be perfect cut strips. We did that because we clipped them out of the book that way. Now, when you're doing this, you can also go in and ink the edges of this with your distress ink if you want to ink those. So, very cool use for those. All right, and now a favorite. The thing that probably sells out the fastest, which of course is the holiday ephemera. Now, the ephemera, there are 69 pieces in this year's ephemera pack. A lot of cool stuff. Some of our favorites that we brought back, we bring them back year after year. Sometimes we resize them, and of course we always add some fun little elements to each pack. So we've got pointing fingers and little labels and tags and special delivery and Christmas wish and elements from boxes and packaging that you see that I collect around the house. And these are just really cool pieces, especially for mixed media. We've got great postcards. This one's really cool. This is a cool piece of ephemera because actually it is a calendar, right? So you can just go in and circle the month and the date if you're going to have a special event or something, again, for a planner or card. Now, there's some really cool stuff. Let me show you this. Look at this one. That's a new piece. Really great. Can never get enough ephemera. Love that old sugar receipt. Perfect. So many different pieces. I could go through all of it, but I won't. But that's what's really nice about working with the holiday ephemera pack. All right. Here they are. Paper dolls. Now, if you haven't really joined into the paper doll craze, well, they're a lot of fun. You really need to at least try a pack and enjoy them. Now, paper dolls, we have the original pack. Now, one cool thing to note about the paper dolls, the ones that we released at CHA, the thing that we try to do is every year we try to kind of update the cast of characters. So just know that the next launch of paper dolls, the everyday paper dolls, will have a whole new cast of characters. But also is the seasonal ones. We did some Halloween ones which were really creepy and kind of funky, and you guys are doing some awesome stuff with it. Now we have, of course, the paper dolls for Christmas, and these are festive, very wintry. And we spend a lot of time finding photos. I think Paula will have to attest that it's probably her everyday task to always look for photos because we're constantly trying to update these paper dolls and found relatives as we have them. But I'm just going to go through, just like the others, they all come in different sizes, small, medium, and large, but I'll pick some of the bigger ones just to show you just a sampling of what's in for Christmas. So of course we got this little guy with the snow ski. Cool, he's got standing in a little bit of snow. This girl, look at her. I know Paula loves her because her little coat, your little hat. So we really try to find some classic ones. These two girls with the plaid dresses. We've got, oh, this one's my favorite. Let me get to this one. I love this guy. Take a look at this guy. Yeah. Dad picking out the Christmas tree. Pretty cool. Really like that one. And I love the die cut. Like, look how perfect that is. Who wants to cut that out? This is a great paper doll. Then we've got these guys, little brothers ready for skiing. They've got their little snow caps on, all bundled up, although he's still wearing short pants. That's like Mario. See, Mario? That could be you and I right there. Then we've got, in the short pants. Then we've got these two. Look at them. I love that. They're all bundled up. This is a favorite. He was a found relatives occasion. Now he's a paper doll. He's got his ice skates around his neck. This guy's really cool. Look at him. He's all dressed up. There's little snow flurries all over him, kind of a Christmas Carol. This little girl with plaid pants. I could just go on and on. They're just really cool, really fun use for ephemera. I love the paper dolls. They're a blast. They really are. And the Christmas ones, you're gonna need them because they're festive. They're all bundled up for the winter. So in this one, there's 54 pieces of the Christmas paper dolls, even tiny ones, because they fit in a lot of things. You'll see. I just got to keep going. There's so much stuff to share with you. All right. Then we've got some Christmas baseboards. Now, baseboards, we've been, again, something we released at CHA. We did a Halloween version. Well, of course, we had to do a Christmas version. So baseboard is a printed bookboard, right? It is a heavyweight chipboard. It's not wood. It's actually cardboard. But what's nice is that this is a great foundation. These could be book covers if you wanted to punch holes through them, or they're really nice that you can build on top of, right? So what's cool, hey, Raina, what's cool about these is that they have just some different styles and patterns, and you'll see in some of the samples what a great foundation. There's kind of an old holiday ledger. Take a look at this, an old advert. Really cool. So that's a nice thing about baseboards, and again, we did them for Christmas. Then if you are a fan of cabinet cards, if you love cabinet cards, we did a festive release of cabinet cards. Now, cabinet card frames, what these are, they're different sizes, different window openings, but it actually is open on the top. See that? So you can take your photo and you can slide into that. The back, these are actually red with gold metallic printing, and they're all different. And these could be sanded, these could be inked and distressed, but these are cool because we've got some small and some large. So again, this could be, you could even put your family photo for the holidays. You can stick this one in the center of a wreath, put it on your mantle, or you can just do decor pieces. But all of these cabinet card frames have the opening at the top. We have this as an everyday SKU. They are the black ones with the metallic, so we decided to do a red set for Christmas. Pretty cool. Sandra, hey, how's it going? All right, so I'm going to save this one. I'm not going to show you what that is. Yeah, I'll keep going. We also have some foam stamps, 2 new foam stamps. Now, I will tell you, I will assure you, there are going to be several technique videos over the next couple months, not only for Christmas, but also Halloween. We haven't even started sharing all of the amazing Halloween inspiration that we have coming your way. So just know that there's going to be videos on things, especially things like foam stamps. Now, what's nice about this, again, they come in this little booklet. This little booklet is sealed here and here, so you just cut this when you pop it open. There are foam stamps that are cling mounted. So you can put this on your platform, you can use it on your regular blocks, and you can stamp these with paint or ink. This is a really dense EVA foam that allows it to stamp with paint or ink, which I think is pretty cool. So this one, you're going to see, this is an ornament set. I'll show you a great card that Rochelle did of how you can create your own ornaments. And then, of course, we've got this really nice old world kind of old English font. The nice thing about foam stamps, people say, why do I need foam stamps? The reason that foam stamps are so cool is the fact that because it's foam and not dense rubber or dense clear polymer, it has a little bit more give. So this will allow you to stamp on, say, barnwood, wood grain cardstock, fabric, burlap, a lot of things that we do around the holidays. So if you wanted to create a cool decor piece on a piece of wood, a foam stamp is going to allow you to apply ink or paint, and when you stamp it, it's going to get into all of those areas. So that's what's really cool about working with these. All right, so those are the 2 Christmas foam stamp sets. All right, I'll share this one with you because I'm excited. I've got to grab this. This one, I have to tell you, I absolutely love it. I will say, yeah, I'll say this is my favorite. This is my favorite release of Christmas. What these are called vignette box tops, and this is how they come.
So can you use the stamps for jelly printing?
Yeah, well, you can use them. I mean, you could stamp on a jelly plate just like you stamp with your elbow or a shoe or anything. So absolutely, it'll lift a medium off the jelly plate. All right, so the vignette box tops. What's cool about these, you'll see, they are different sizes, different design box tops. And here is what these are designed to do. These, turn around here, work with these. These are vignette boxes. These vignette boxes are part of the Everyday Idea-ology line. They are 4 nested wood boxes, okay? And what's cool about this is that you've got your vignette box, you've got your vignette box top, and it's all open, and all you're going to do is you can create your collage, you can do whatever it is you need to do, and then you're simply going to apply adhesive to your outer tabs, lay this over the top, glue it down, and it completely covers it and turns this into a shadow box. Yes. So what's great about this, and I haven't decorated these, but we do have some finished samples. This will allow you to create these great little seasonal boxes. Like all of the vintage boxes I collect for the holidays. Everybody says, oh, I love those old boxes. Well, now you can create your own art inside. So you can use them. You can put trees in there. If you wanted to make kind of a shaker, you could still glue a piece of acetate to the inside of this window before you put it onto your box. And then you could have a shaker box, which would be really cool. But what's nice about this now, here's the thing. Vignette boxes, there are 4 boxes in a set. Vignette box tops, there are 5. Why? Well, I wanted one for each. Of course, you can see here that there is a box top that fits each of the boxes that are in the set. But then I couldn't decide on this large one if I wanted to create something vertical or horizontal. So there are 2 of the larger ones. So you'll have to decide which one you want to use. But Rochelle has a really great solution for the extra vignette box tops that I'll share with you a little bit later. All right. So these are vignette box tops. How cool are those, right? So even the graphics on the outside, even the little wrinkles and imperfections of those old boxes. I just have these rubber banded on just to kind of give a perspective. So if you are making these, my advice is to start working inside the box, right? Do your paper, build your thing, and then the last thing you're going to want to do is glue this on, at least for me. So if I need to kind of get perspective on it, you can always secure it with a rubber band if you needed to. All right, and then you glue them on. So those are the vignette box tops. This is how they come. And of course, they are designed to work with vignette boxes. Really cool. I love them. All right, let's get them out of the way. I told you it's a lot. It's only the beginning. That's 1 basket of 3. Oh. All right, some other stuff. This stuff will go a little quicker because this is just some fun, cool, unique stuff. And then, of course, we'll get to all the samples too. All right, so this stuff, of course, we can never have enough trees. And these are bottle brush trees. And I'll show you a little later how we can color these. Mario colored these in a bazillion colors. So I'll show you just the variety of these. Now woodlands, they come in 3 different sizes. We've got the large tree. They're just in a multi-pack. Okay. And what's unique about these particular trees, these are natural. They're not synthetic. They're actually made of a porous material. So you can use any type of ink spray or watercolor on there, anything, and it will absorb. So any type of color. And I've had people use, like I use Distress Spray Stain, but I've had people dip them in food coloring and use dilution. So any type of fluid coloring you can go ahead and use on these trees. Now these are the large ones. Then of course we have the small ones. And then we have the mini ones. Now what's unique about this year's design is made the base a little thinner, a little larger, but then also kind of cleared out the distance between that little wood base and the tree. So now you get a little bit of that wire exposed. The originals, right, you can see that is a little thicker and the tree goes all the way down to the base. So this year I just wanted to expose some of that because I just thought that was really just neat. I like the look of that. So that's the difference with this year's tree. But of course all the trees in the Idea-ology, even if you have last year's woodlands, they can still be inked and colored and all of that. So let me just decide where I'll just, okay, I'm going to just go across. I'm not going to try to make you dizzy or anything, but here we go. Oh, here I have to start here. So these are all different colors that Mario has done using all of the Distress products, different colors. These are all Distress Spray Stain. So just imagine, your trees could be any color. I mean, I've made these trees for Halloween, for fall, for Valentine's. I've even done Valentine trees. You could do anything you want. If you want to, look at this, black tree for Halloween. So yeah, any of the colors. I know. Look, Mario, you're getting a lot of hearts. Thanks. We love the hearts. Yes. So he has all of these, and he just glued them onto a yardstick. He has them hanging up in his garage studio. So that's cool. So those are the woodlands. Now, some other things that are new this year that you can colorize. These are called beaded berries. And what these are really kind of inspired by vintage millinery berries. And what that just means, they're like these wired. So these are wired. And it has this little ball at the end. And the ball is covered in clear beads. So I'll try to hold one up to the camera. Okay. I'm going to see it, right? So they're cool and kind of wonky. So they kind of look like they're covered in ice or snow. They are wired, so you can bend them around things. You can twist them, so you can incorporate them with your die cuts. But here's what's cool about the beaded berries, because every time I see the berries at the craft store, they're always just that shiny covered styrofoam. I don't really like that. I wanted something a little bit more vintage. But of course, they are white because, well, you can make them any color you want. Beaded berries can be colored with just a single drop of alcohol ink. That's all you have to do. Drip it on, take the paper towel, blot it off. Because if you blot it off with the paper towel, the inside of the berries, see how it still looks really light, kind of reflective? That's really what I like. If you just drip the ink on and let it dry, it's going to get super dark. So I just like the fact that I can just drip a little alcohol ink on and blot it off. It does need to be alcohol ink. Distress won't stick to this because these are little plastic beads, but I don't know if the camera's ever even going to do these justice. They just sparkle like ice. And I just did a bunch of different colors just to share with you that, yeah, they could be anything. And you'll see these used in some of the project examples. They're just a lot of fun because if you like to make flowers using any of the Sizzix dyes, or you just want to add some berries, it's a really simple way to do it. You can just twist it around things and then glue them on. So that's really why we did beaded berries. They're cool. Simple, you know, sometimes it's just the simple things. And this is, you know, this is when Paul and I are going around on Etsy and Pinterest and seeing stuff going, oh, I wish we still had those kind of vintage kind of things available, but not at vintage prices. So that's what's cool about beaded berries. And you get 50 in a pack. Really great. All right. Some other new things. These are called wood slices. Now, you may have seen wood slices everywhere. Well, you've not seen them like this because what I love is it's got some really great, cool, chunky bark. These are made out of real wood, and all of these have those great rings. Now, these slices are smooth, so you can stamp on them. So you can stamp these with archival ink. Hey, Wendy. Yep, you can stamp these with archival. I would suggest archival over distress, simply because distress has a tendency to kind of wick into wood. So you could emboss on these because they are made out of real wood. So that's kind of the cool thing about these. Look at that. I love the wood rings. I love the chunky bark. And they're all different sizes. So there are 20 pieces. Where do you see the samples of these? Because you think, why do I want wood slices? Huh, you'll see. They're cool. All right, then we've got trims. A lot of different trimmings. Now, there's several things. So we still have some stock of last year's trim. Okay, this is the trimming we did last Christmas, and we still have some left from last year that has this tinsel and this great kind of velvety ribbon. So this one you're just going to want, if you see it in your store or an online store, you want to get this because when it's gone, it's gone. We did not bring any back this year. What we did do though is a lot of people really liked this thin ribbon, so we just brought that back this year. So this is 10 yards. It's 5 yards each of that thin sheer ribbon from the original metallic. So if you still like all the tinsel and the velvet one, I love this one in the middle. That's going to be last year's. This year is just going to be that thin. Again, we listen to you. This makes really great bows. You'll see some really cool things in the samples that Rochelle did to this ribbon, which is awesome. And then, of course, there are the jute string. I love this jute string because, well, it's like peppermint. Pretty cool, right? So it's just red and white twisted jute string. So this one came back. So those are some of the trims. All right. Trying to stay organized because I still have so much stuff to share with you. Yeah, if you haven't pulled up a seat, I'm sure many of you are like, oh, well, this guy, be quiet. Got to keep going. All right, now we get into this. I'll say the good stuff, but let's be honest, it's all really good stuff. It's just different. There's a lot of cool, crazy things that we like to have for the holidays. This is a big release. All right, so, well, let's just talk about stuff. I'll just grab and talk. So, of course, quote chips. Now, quote chips, this is a SKU that we released at CHA. A lot of people are using them. They're really fun because, again, it's printed on that thick bookboard that have just the black type. What we did for the holidays, well, we printed it in red. And you'll see that there's that really great kind of candy cane striped words. But there's also, I'm just going to pop this package open. This is really great for a lot of phrases because we did some long phrases and we did, of course, in that script font. Dreaming of a white Christmas, wish you Merry Christmas. And again, that's that bookboard. So these are really nice that you could add on to your mixed media projects, or you can simply just, gosh, I think it'd be cool to punch a hole, put an eyelet in it, and use it as a tag. But I like that. So those are the quote chips. There's so many different ones. There's, you know, all different phrases, words, quotes, different fonts. We've got some of these. You'll see the script font. Some of them have the typewriter font. Some of them are that large word that's in there. It's just tons of pieces in these quote chips. Then we did some holiday flashcards. Now we do flashcards pretty much every Christmas, but this year decided to change it up and go in with that really great Old English font. I think that's the font. I really like the whole look of this, so I'm gonna grab them. I already have them open here just to show you. I wanted to kind of have some off camera. So what's great about these, of course, is that they've got this great font. They're in green as well as red. They're double-sided, different words. So these are perfect for, again, a gift tag. You can punch a hole. You can use them on cards. You can put them in your planner with the tiny attacher or little clips. But there's so many different words. But the best part, oh, hey, Joy, is the font. That's what I really like. It's just that great vintage font. It's got the little number up there that's also in that font. So many different choices to have when it comes to these holiday flashcards. So if you already have them and you're like, oh, I've got them from previous years, I haven't used them, use them up. But then you also want to check out this cool, great, very nostalgic holiday font of the flashcards. And you can tell which one because, of course, the image on the box represents the font that's in the box. That's how you'll know. And I think last year's box was red with a different font. Pretty cool. All right, some other things. Of course, typography. Now, we have typography. These are resin letters and numbers. We had this in the everyday line. We have typography and ideology. For Halloween, we did black, and then for Christmas, we did white. Now, the benefit of this particular pack, because I have gotten several messages saying, okay, well, I already have typography and ideology. Why do I want this new ideology one? Well, you don't necessarily need to if you don't want to. You can use up the typography. It's exactly the same. This could be alcohol inked, painted, glittered, anything. What's unique about these when we bring them out for the season is we really try to help and think of seasonal projects. That if you were going to use these on seasonal projects, do you have enough letters to spell out those seasonal words? And that's the challenge with the regular typography. If you tried to do all the seasonal words, you wouldn't have enough letters out of one pack to do it. And that's why we do this. So in this pack, you have all of these words. You have season, merry and bright. You have 2 sets of 25, joy, wish, peace, and believe. So in this pack, you can do all of these words. That's why we did this. So if you like to use these and you want to use these for the holidays, save your other typography for your everyday crafting and whatever words you use. But this is the benefit whenever you see it come out in seasonal. You think, why is he doing that? Well, this is why, because right out of the box, you've got everything to create these words for your projects. That's why we did it. And I think it's much cheaper than the full pack because, of course, it doesn't contain all the other letters that you're not using. Q, Z, X, V, all of that. Make sense? So that's the holiday typography. Then we did some other holiday stuff. We did the holiday transparent tiles. We did this in the everyday line. We did a really cool Gothic font for Halloween. Now for these, let me see if I can grab one out of here. Well, I happen to get an E. So what we did for Christmas, you can see it's got that really great candy cane stripe and that little snow flurry around the edge. So this is printed. It's just on a piece of, it's pretty thick acetate. You can staple these on. You could color the backs with alcohol ink. You could put acrylic paint behind it. You could put this over patterned paper. They're just a neat little embellishment. Very, very lightweight. And you get, of course, the full alphabet. You get several letters, especially your vowels, things like that. You've got some numbers. This one has, I think, a little snowflake icon as well. What's cute about these are really cool to make mini banners. So if you just want to punch holes and then just string through it, you can make little banners, little garland that you could put on the Christmas tree or the mantle. I just think they're cool. So those are the Christmas transparent tiles. Then we get into some other Christmassy things. Oh my gosh, we've got these. Now alpha dice, love these. So the alpha dice in the everyday ideology have a black letter and number stamped. For Halloween, we actually did black dice. Now for Christmas, of course, yes, we needed to bring in that nostalgic red print. So that's what's cool about the Christmas alpha dice. And they have all different letters and numbers so you can spell words. You're going to see some of the projects, how these are used. Really, really cool to work with those. Some other little trinkety things. We've got, of course, the seasonal word keys, believe, wish, peace, joyful, merry. These can go in, you can add some color to these. Really cool. I can't wait to get to the sample, so I'm just going to kind of blast through a lot of this other stuff. Charms that came back, of course, the ice skates. These are dimensional skates. What's cute about these? Take a look at them. Oh yeah. It's literally an old school ice skate. Yep, and there's a hole right there that you can attach a jump ring or a loop pin, and you can hang these off of the project. So the ice skates, you actually get 6, so you get 3 pair. Then we brought the adornment wreaths. Now these could be painted, these could be alcohol inked, they could be altered in many different ways. The adornment snowflakes, just little charms. Again, these could be painted and inked. Just cool little embellishments and charms. Other things that came back, the adornment pine cones, and I'll share with you how you can alter these. There's a whole demo session coming up, you guys. It's crazy how much stuff that there is to talk about. I just want to talk about what we brought back. Oh, yeah, we've got the type tokens. We brought these guys back. So these have different words typed on there that you can add color into. You know, December 25th, Noel, you can attach these with brads, or you can use pins. Of course, these guys came back. Jingle brads are back for another season. So if you're not familiar with jingle brads, well, I think many people just completely go crazy with these. I love them. It's a jingle bell on the end of a brad. Yeah, there is a little bell in there. Doesn't really make much of a noise, but there is something in there rattling around. And these are great because you can just insert this into a card or a project and open up the back, and that's how you can attach the jingle brad. And there's different sizes and different finishes. All right, so there are some new things. I think I covered that. Oh, baubles are back. Yep, I'll talk about how we can color these if you're not familiar with these and why would we even want these. Well, you'll see why you're going to want these, because these make these. Yeah, they do. All right, I'll show you that in a second. Then we brought back trophy antlers. Now these are resin trophy antlers that you can colorize, and I'll show you how we can alter these. Then we've got some other resin things. We brought these little guys back, right? The little decorative deer. So these are tiny little deer. They're two sizes. That's what they look like. Okay, they can stand up, so you can put these in a jar or a box. You can leave them as is, or you can alter these, which I'll talk about in just a second. And then we have the new Salvage Santa. He's awesome. I'll talk about him in a second too, because most of this stuff is now demo. We're getting into the demo thing. Some other cool new things. These are just tiny bells. Now, the reason I wanted to do tiny bells, let's face it, if you go to the craft store, you can find a bazillion bells. There's almost an entire aisle of bells in a craft store. None of them look like this. All of them are either shiny silver, shiny brass, and giant sizes. So in here, these are all antique. It's either an antique gunmetal or an antique brass. There's tiny, tiny little jingle bells, all different sizes of jingle bells, and then these different size Liberty bells. Can you hear that? Oh yeah, these ring. So these little bells are really cool to add to a project, and that's why I wanted to do tiny bells, because every year I try to use bells onto a project and they're just so bright and obnoxious that it doesn't really work. And that's really why I like all these little sizes. And they're small. They're small enough that you can add to all of your projects. So those are the tiny bells. Then we've got some other new stuff. These are called fluted stars. What's nice about these fluted stars, these are very, very vintage looking, right? So nostalgic. It's got that great jaggedy fluted edge. It's peaked on the top, so these are not completely flat. They have that great little peak, so totally different than a fluted fastener. You can see it's got that star, and then the back. So if you're going to attach this, you just put a little bit of collage medium on the outside, and you can glue that down. But look at that. These are great for tree toppers, great if you want to just add these onto a card to adorn the corners or anything like that. You can add some paint or alcohol ink. There's a million ways to alter these, but I love these. Very, very nostalgic. Love those fluted stars. Then we have word bands. Now the word bands, what we did for this holidays, we took that really great handwritten script. We did Merry Christmas, Special Delivery, Peace on Earth, Merry and Bright, and A Wonderful Life. And these are really cool because the nice thing about these, again, anything that is debossed, you can add color. It's pretty simple, and I'll show you that in a second. Throw it over in the demo pile. Another thing that you're going to see now, this product is so cool that we've already added it to the everyday line, so this will be a permanent product in the line, and this is called Vignette Hardware. So for those of you that love vignette boxes, trays, panels, this SKU is for you. And I know so many of the designers that did Halloween right now, you guys are going to jump up and down, because what's cool about this is that this has these little tack nails in here, and I'll show you some of the projects made with it. There are these screw eyes, which have been part of Idea-ology, but now there's also screw hooks, which means you can screw those into the wood and hook something, actually hang something off of it, because that is bent open. And then we've got these long mini screws, and these long screws allow you to use the mini pulley wheels, all the knobs that come with that little screw. The screw that comes on the knob and the pulley wheels are normally too short because they're designed to go through chipboard. So if you need to go through the thickness of the vignette wood, you can drill a hole and then use these longer screws, and that will allow you to attach wheels to the box, any of the knobs, any of the pulls to any of the vignette SKUs with this hardware pack. That's what's cool. I love this pack. We're so happy every day. All right. A couple other things. Countdown brads. Now I want to talk about countdown brads real quick, and I'm going to grab the sample. Thanks, Mario, for making the sample last night. He was helping in the workshop. I'm like, I need to show this because I want to make sure that nobody gets confused on this, because we have had number brads in the Idea-ology line. Okay, we've had brads that have debossed numbers, and they're just called number brads. Now, the number brads are literally a random assortment of numbers. It is not sequential. There are multiples of just weird numbers that you wouldn't think you wanted. That's really what they're for. They were just so you could have a brad that has a number, just as an embellishment. But so many people year after year were saying, but I want this to make a calendar. I want to do an advent calendar. I want to use them in a planner. I want to have these numbers in sequence. So that is why we did countdown brads. So these are called countdown brads, not number brads. And the reason we call them countdown brads is because they contain numbers 1 through 31 in sequence. Now, it is a different font. It is a debossed font. Okay, debossed meaning that it's actually stamped into it. And the cool thing about that is that then you can go in with distress paint or distress crayon, color it, wipe it off, and you could customize this. So here, just for a little display, I just put it on a mini clipboard. I just attach it to a piece of plastic just so you can see they are brads. But this is a very, very cool way that you could add these. And again, if you're a planner person, even if you're not going to use these to make a Christmas calendar, an advent calendar, these are great to add into your planners on any of those special days because it's just a brad with a number. And again, they just come just in this antique silver, already debossed, and if you want to add a color, you can. Just go in with your paint, apply it, wipe it off. Paula likes your sample. It is cute, right? It's a really great way to look at it. Or you can use your distress crayon, but these are called countdown brads. So if you want the numbers in sequence, countdown brads, not number brads. I think I got my point across. We'll hope. We'll hope. Because I know there was some confusion. People are like, well, wait a minute, I can't really count them down. Nope. Now you can. All right. Thanks for that cool sample, Mario. You rocked it. Good job. All right. And then final, before we get into the demos, of course, is some more fringe. Now, we released this at Halloween's, really cool, and of course I had to do a Christmas version of fringe. So here's what it is. If you didn't see that demo, I'll show you again. So what this is a tissue paper that has been stacked, sewn, and then cut with fringe. Okay, cut with little fringe scissors on both sides. What's nice about this, of course, you can lay it flat. You can stamp on it if you wanted to. You could go in and you could add, Paula wants to add a little metallic paint to the edge, so you can go in and add paint. You can do anything you want to while it's flat. Makes it really easy to work with. You can just take it right off. Anywhere that you want to cut it, any length that you want to cut the fringe, you can. You just go in, cut that, right? So it's not going to unravel. It's not going to do anything. There's your piece. And then all you're going to do is take this, and you're just going to start kind of rolling your hands together as if you're like making a snowball or a meatball or anything. And when you just start rolling that around, just like that, it fringes. It creates this really cool fringe paper. So this one has red and white, and it's a great accent. You're going to see it used on some samples. It's just cool. And the more you crinkle it, in other words, the more you roll, Margie's like, I die. It's really cool stuff. The smaller it gets, right? So you could start with a large fringe, see how big this one is, and see how skinny this one got. So the more you roll it up, the skinnier it gets. So that's what's cool about it. You just need that one size, and depending on if you want it just to be kind of a large fluff top for the garland, or if you really want to make it smaller to go around tags. Now, fringe, like I said, it's in Halloween. We did it in Christmas, and I will tell you right now that this is releasing at CHA in just a neutral cream, so you can ink it any color you want. So the one that comes out next year, you can take spray stain and make it teal, blue, pink, gold, anything. But this is what's really cool about this, is that it's got the different colors in there. I just love it. And I need to show it because, when you see it in the package, you're like, what in the world is that? And then when you see that, you're like, this is awesome. Of course, Kim, like a meatball. a meatball, snowball. I don't think you really roll a snowball. You pack a snowball.
I don't think
So that's
you
more
know
like.
how to roll a meatball.
Do you not roll a meatball?
Well, I don't think you would know how to.
No, but I've seen it. You know, seen Ratatouille. So, all right. So that is Fringe. All right, let's get into some demos, right? Let's talk about some of this stuff. Those are the release. It's a lot of stuff. You guys are probably going to have to go back and watch the video to be like, what in the world did he talk about? Well, a lot of stuff. Thanks for the hearts, you guys. I appreciate that. Okay, let's talk about different ways to alter things, okay? Because that, to me, is very cool. And I showed some of this last year, so for those that didn't join us, you get to see it for the first time. For those that did, you get to see it again. But these are the pine cones, adornment pine cones. Now, these are really great because they're antique silver, but take a look at these guys, right? These are these little wintry, icy, sparkly ones. Very, very simple to alter these. All you have to do is take a container, a bowl, anything, put the pine cones in, a few drops of alcohol ink, move it around into the bowl. They'll dry in seconds. And then you're simply going to add some sparkle. Now, you're going to see a lot of different samples that all have sparkle. Everything has been adhered with collage medium. I used to use glossy accents, but I find collage medium holds more sparkle, and it gives me much more durability because collage medium is designed for metal and plastic. It doesn't chip off. So I just go and put a little collage medium on with my finger, and then these pine cones, I simply dip them into Distress Rock Candy. Now, Rock Candy glitter is really cool because it is clear and sparkly. It's like sugar. Okay, that's what's nice about this. So you can use Rock Candy. So they're alcohol inked first, a little bit of collage medium, and then I just open the lid and literally dip them in, and now you've got these great little sparkly sugar cones. Aren't those cool? Really neat. So that's how we've done those. Now, these other guys, we talked about the decorative deer, and there's a lot of different ways to alter them. I'm just sharing a couple of ideas, so don't think it's the only way, because it isn't. There's many different ways. Now, the decorative deer, there are 2 sizes in the pack, right? You get multiples, small and large, and you can use them as is. They're really nice like that. You could go in and you could collage these. You could use your washi tape. You could use tissue wrap if you want, and you could collage them. You could alcohol ink them, or you can glitter them. So take a look at that. Look at that. That to me is like vintage, sparkly Christmas. Okay. Now what these are done same adhesive, right? Everything is collage medium. So I just go in with a paintbrush and just paint it. This particular one though, these are done with Distress glitter dust. Now, I always refer to glitter dust as an outdoor activity. Okay, because the big difference is Distress glitter that I shared with you before, Rock Candy, is clear and it's like sugar. So this never becomes airborne. So if like I'm just kind of flicking it around, it doesn't go anywhere. It adheres, it doesn't make a giant mess. Glitter dust, on the other hand, is exactly what it is. I'm going to slowly open this because this gets me a little nervous. All right, this is glitter dust. So glitter dust is a blend of multiple colors of glitter that provides the perfect vintage platinum look of sparkle. That's the whole thing. It's got a little bit of gold, a little bit of silver, a little bit of that, and look at how it hits the light. Okay, this stuff though becomes airborne, so that's why I like to use it outside. But once it's set on there, it's on there, right? So we've got those glittered up, those little sparkly guys. Now this one, these are the trophy antlers, right? So the trophy antlers, these guys right here, you can alter these. He's pretty cool. So he's just done with a little bit of collage medium, just painted on. Once it dries, went in with the Distress crayon to alter that, and then we just did glitter dust on his antlers. The antlers you can simply pull off, so they're removable. So you can pull off the antlers, paint them, dip them in glitter, and then just poke them back right in the top of his head. See, there they are. You can see they just stick right in. Pretty cool, right? But then it's flat backed, and to me, it just completely changes the whole look of that. Gives it a great thing. And this would look good, I think, on a project. If you took this, you mounted it on a wood slice. Hello, there you go. Put that on. Take the nails from the hardware set, hammer the nails into something. How cool is that, right? Really, really cool. Love that. All right. So that's one way to alter some things. A little deer and the pine cone. We'll get that out of the way. All right. This next one I want to share with you is another cool way that we can alter things. like these guys, these little baubles, right? Now what's unique about baubles, the reason we did this in Idea-ology, because you can say, well, Tim, I can go to the craft store, the dollar store, I can buy pearl beads. You can, but they're beads and they have a hole in them. So when you use them, you're going to see the hole. The reason we did baubles is these are pearls without any holes in them, right? So when you use them, you just have a nice pearl bauble, and you can use them as is, or you can turn them into vintage looking mercury glass ornaments. These things that normally cost quite a bit of money at an antique store, look at that. You can make your own, and it's easy to do. Here you go. Here is our little demo. All I do is take alcohol ink, and you can take any color alcohol ink that you want to use. I like to use 2 portion cups. Use whatever you want. You can use a plastic cup, anything, but you want it disposable, right? You don't want to take your best cup or glass or bowl because the ink is going to stain it. So I just use 2 little portion cups. I put in some baubles. You can see they started out just like that, just white. Throw them in. Take your alcohol ink. There's no measurement. You measure to the nearest ish. So you just squeeze a little bit like that, just a little bit in the middle. Put the lid on the top. You can shake them if you want. You can swirl them, but see, just the cups are together. And you're just moving that ink around. And just like that, you have permanently colored pearls. Color goes right around it. Done. Simple. Just like that. And they create a really nice color. Now, if you wanted these darker, like if you said, hey, you know what? I really want this to be a little bit more intense. No problem. You could go in and add another layer, right? You can put more on and you can make them darker. I'm not going to, because I'm going to show you another trick of how we go from having these really clean color into vintage goodness, right? Because this and this, same color. What? Yes. All right, here's the trick to vintage goodness. Note to self, if you have a pen and paper, write this one down. The trick to vintage goodness is mushroom alcohol ink, okay? That is your color. That is your color of choice of taking anything, yeah, hashtag vintage goodness, and it will create a really cool thing. Oh, you don't have to stop at pearls. You can, listen, I take alcohol ink, I colorize my own glitter. You can make rock candy glitter any color you want. You can change this. Mar, do you have time to grab me a craft stick out of the closet? If you do, I'll do a little glitter demo real quick too while we're doing this. All right, so now I'm going to take mushroom. So what I do is I'll take the color that I do, I'll put this into my little mushroom bowl, and then I'm just going to add just a little bit of mushroom. So this you don't want to add too much, right? And then I'm just going to roll this around. Okay, I'm just rolling this around in the cup. The reason I do it this way versus the portion cup is because I don't want to color these mushroom. I don't want these to be brown, right? I want these to just get a little layer of mushroom over the top of the color. And you can see that it's already doing that. Just by allowing it to roll, it's just going to give it a nice little vintage effect. Look at that. Instant vintage. Oh my gosh. So cool. Yeah, so that's it. That's a color and mushroom alcohol ink to do that. So, real quick, thanks Mario. We'll do another quick demo just because, well, somebody asked. So if you have distressed glitter, rock candy, right? This is clear. I can pour some of this into a cup. Pretty simple. I could take any color alcohol ink. I'll just use the same one. This happens to be patina. I like this color a lot. And I'm just going to put ink right into the glitter, just like that. Just squeeze it in. Then you're going to take a craft stick, and you're just going to start stirring it up. And you just keep mixing. And it's going to get clumpy. Can you see the clumps? That's all right. Just keep going. Keep working those clumps out. Alcohol ink is basically a solvent-based ink that has a resin. And this will allow it to bond to its surface and become permanent. And you can see that now we're making that color. And when this dries, because right now it kind of looks like wet sand. See how it's really built up on the stick? But when this dries, which should only take maybe a few minutes, it will be permanently colored sparkly glitter again. Because right now it just looks like sand. It lost all of its sparkle because it's wet right now. I'm going to add another little bit, and I'll set this aside to dry. We'll come back to it at the end just to show you. But that's how simple it is that you can color beads and brads and staples and glitter and really anything. Yeah, that's why I wanted to include a couple of demos for this holiday video, because you see all this stuff and you think, man, what am I going to do with it? Well, gosh, that's why you want baubles. You want baubles in the bulk because hello, mercury glass ornaments forever. And then, of course, taking any type of glitter and ink, you have the ability to alter some things. So let's talk about other things to alter. Remember we talked about these guys, right? The word bands. Same thing with the countdown brads. You can go over them with paint. Another quick way is to go in with distressed crayons, right? Distressed crayon is a water-reactive pigment. It is not a thick, chunky wax, so it really allows it to kind of get into that area. So what I do is I'll just take that and I color right over the top. I like to place it onto the table. Can you tell I'm not in my hand? It's just easier because I'm using the crayon flat, because this way I don't waste the crayon. If you try to use it at an angle, it'll tend to break off, right? So if you just use the crayon flat over to the metal, and that just goes right over everything, you just color it, and then you're gonna take your fingers while this crayon is wet, and you're just gonna wipe the excess off of the top of the metal. I need a little bit more into the M. There you go. And just like that, we were able to add color into that word band. That's it, it's done. Simple. So you can leave them like that, right? But look what happens when you just add that little highlight. Oh my gosh, so cool. And you could change different colors, whatever you wanna do. Pretty simple. But this is much quicker than paint. Could you use paint? Sure, but you've got to paint it on. You got to wait a minute for it to start drying before you can wipe it off, and sometimes you wipe off too much. If you've done it, you know just what I mean. But the crayons, dang, super simple. All right, so that is distressed crayon. Now, this next one I'm going to share with you is Salvage Santa, and a huge shout out to Rochelle. I know, Rochelle, you're watching. Thank you. I was texting her last night. I'm like, okay, you'll see the sample that she did, but I'm like, I need to know exactly how you did it. I know Rochelle is going to be teaching some workshops on some of the projects I'm going to share with you, so check out her blog. She can probably post it onto this Facebook video. But here's what's really cool about this. Now, Paula also did a really great way to alter these, and I want to share a couple of different ways, but these are Salvage Santas. And Salvage Santas are made of resin, just like the Salvage dolls or the deer. They have great detail. Okay, he's got that little bag. He can stand up, right? But what's nice about these is that this was molded off of a vintage candy holder. He was much bigger, and we shrunk him down, and he's got a lot of great detail. This is beautiful if you just want to do a winter scene, if you want to do something that has a very nice soft look. But what about taking this guy and doing this? What? You gotta be kidding me. Yep, pretty dang simple when she explained it. First I was like, okay, I have no clue. I'm not a painter. I can't really do this. It's pretty simple. She just went in with distressed paint and a paintbrush, painted it, let it dry. Then she went in with a little wash of distressed crayon, washed over it, and wiped it out. I'm not going to demo it because she's going to teach us in her workshop, but I'm sure she'll share the tip with us as well, even before her workshop. Who knows, right, Rochelle? Hint, hint. It's awesome because this is just taking that. And I really would have never thought of using distressed crayon to go into those little areas. Paula did this Santa also, and she used alcohol ink. And it's a totally different look. Very, very cool. But I would have never thought to use crayon on resin. Metal all the time. But I guess it makes sense. If it worked on metal, it would certainly work on resin. But look at the detail. And I love and I was able to paint that. I did all right. Because you don't really notice it when you add that layer of sludge. He is cool, right? So again, that's distressed paint, let that dry, and then your crayon and wipe it off, and you're good. That's it. All right, so those are the Salvage Santas. Amazing. All right, so let me see. Is there anything else? I think that's it before I start showing you the samples, right? Let's get into the samples. So we're going to talk about the different things and the stuff that's been made. Really, really awesome projects. Okay, and I'm going to do my best to talk about it. Bring them over here in the cart. All right. So first thing we'll talk about is this guy, right? So this is a great card that Rochelle made, but this just shows you the versatility and function of these cling foam stamps, right? So what they're designed to do is because they're solid, they're designed to layer. So this has been stamped with oxide. So just a little gradation of color. They stamp beautifully, I told you, with ink. And then this top layer is then taking the circle. So you start out with your ornament shape. That's going to be the solid. Then stamp with this shape on top. That's been embossed. Then take a star or an accent, stamp that on top. That's been embossed. You can add the ornament hook. That's been embossed. And that's just, you can stamp Just like oxide, you can stamp with embossing ink and emboss, but these are really nice because they're very bold and very thick. Now, take a look at these ribbons, right? See how they match these ornaments beautifully? Well, that's another genius move, okay? Because what's cool about this, now I have to try to find it. Hold on. I'll be here. This is this, right? So Rochelle went in and alcohol inked the ribbon. So just take a little alcohol ink, but look, it still has that great sparkle, that metallic, and colorize the ribbon. So really, really great use of foam stamps and of course the ribbon and really alcohol inking ribbon. There is nothing you can't alcohol ink, I'm telling you. From baubles to glitter to ribbon, yeah, you could do it all. It's cool. So great card, just a great simple use for that. All right, let's talk about some other things. I'm gonna grab these guys in. The samples are really just for inspiration, and I'll post some shots of these on the blog. So these guys, all right, these are little jars, and these are part of the Everyday Idea-ology line, but I like to share with this because this is a great thing when you think, wait a minute, if I need some gifts or some host gifts or for teachers or whatever, this is a really great project for that. What these use are the mini mason jars from Idea-ology, okay? They're 3 in a pack, and they have this really great vintage quality star molded into the glass. They come with lids, okay? Now these jars, what's really interesting about this, a lot of people don't realize, these are food-safe glass jars. So if you do baking, make candies, whatever, you can put food into these because this is food-safe glass, all right? Then we have this, and what this is, this mini mason jar photo clip kit. And this is a kit that's sold separately that can convert your jars, if you just didn't want to use them for just filler, and actually make a display out of this. So it comes with new lids, right? So 3 in a pack. And so what you're going to replace this lid with this one. This has a hole in it, and it's got this hardware, these little poles, it's got a little wing net and these clips. And what that does is it allows you to go in and add this. So this is my lid. I painted it with distress paint, kind of wiped it off a little bit. The rod gets inserted from the inside of the lid. There's a little washer and a wing nut. It comes with its own hinge clip. I also added some paint. And this is sized if you are a huge fan of Instax photos like I am. I absolutely love them. You can print your Instax photos. You can add stickers, do whatever. And this is sized for an Instax photo. So you just lay it right against that little pole and you clip it on. And that's it. So you can add a photo. This is also sized to fit a gift card. So if you wanted to put a Starbucks gift card or anything like that, you can. So in this jar, I filled mine with a woodland tree. So what I did is took one of the large woodlands, right? The larger one, sprayed it. Then I added my glitter to it. You can see the ornaments. Well, that would be these guys, right? So I just glued those on. Everything is collage medium. The ornaments are glued on with collage medium, the glitter. Then I just took some of that rock candy and put that in the jar. Now, the reason I like to use rock candy as my snow is, remember when I said rock candy doesn't become airborne? Rock candy glitter also doesn't get static charge. So when I shake this up in the jar, I don't have to worry about all the glitter sticking to the inside of my jar, right? It just keeps moving around. Pretty cool. And then we've got this little band. Now I'm going to share another little trick, okay? Who knew this is going to be like a little mini class? Maybe some people are bored by now, but I just like sharing these. Maybe you could watch it a little later. So notice that I've got a word band that goes around the rim of the jar, ish. Pretty close, right? See that? Pretty ish. And I've just tied this on with some jute string. So here's what I did. And you could find these if you look online. You can find a pair of these. I've talked about this before. But these are a nylon plier. Okay, it's a nylon jawed plier. And they use them for bracelets. I think they even call it a bracelet plier. All right? And this is what it looks like. It's got a little arch in it. And here's what you can do with it. So you can take something like this, a piece of metal, and we start with the end of it, and you're just going to go in and you're just going to squeeze, and you're just going to keep going, and you're going to squeeze, and you're going to squeeze, and I'm just moving it and squeezing it each time. And you're going to do this several times. I'm going to go all the way through, go back to the beginning, and do this again. And each time you do this, it's going to continue to bend this completely smooth to form on that nylon jaw, right? And you can just keep going back and forth. And once you are happy with the curve of that, there is your bent piece that will fit around the lid of your jar. Look at that. How cool. Instead of going to the end of the table and trying to bend it because it will end up kind of creasing, this will allow you to go in and give it just that little bend. And even if you want to give it a little extra bend, you can, because the pliers are going to support it and keep it from snapping. So that is how I took one of the word bands and tied it around the top of the jar. Cool.
Nobody's bored.
Oh, good. Really fun. All right. So those you just want to Google. Those pliers are not part of my line. It's just something that you're going to want to Google, but they're called bracelet pliers, I think. So here's one. This is one Rochelle did. And just to show you how all of this stuff comes together, right? So painted the lid. She painted her clip. This time, instead of doing a photo or tag, she just made a great little card. She took one of the mini trees, cut the back of it off, right? So you could glue it on. Really easy to cut these little woodlands with your scissor. There's that great little star. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Little fluted star. Using the paper dolls, ephemera. There's our great fringe that just goes right around. Some little string type token. Fill this with peppermints. She did fill it with chocolates originally, but the chocolates melted coming to Arizona. So peppermints it is. Worked, right? So really great gift. So whether you're creating something where you just want to do stuff for the art of it, use your rubber stamps or any of your ephemera, or if you want to incorporate a photo and put a tree in there, make a little shaker. Couple little ideas for making quick gifts. Really, really inexpensive too. All right. So far, so good. Getting into more samples. Now, sometimes we just want to make a really fun, cool gift. Now this one lights up. Ah, there's a little thing of lights in there. Yes, so this is an assemblage clock. The assemblage clock, the back pops off. This is just using a little light strand. You can just poke a hole through and just put that right in. So this is just filled with vintage ornaments. You could fill it with baubles, but I will tell you it will take a lot of these to fill this because it's big. You'll want some space. But I've done a lot of stuff with assemblage clocks where you can put trees. I've done a Sizzix Village in there. But this is just vintage ornaments. And then the outside, these are just stickers, part of Idea-ology. You can stick those right onto the front of the glass. Here you can see some of the Sizzix punches, the greens. And then look at those. Yep, beaded berries. See how cool those little berries are? Because they're wired, they just add a great little accent to it. So those are the beaded berries. So really great way that, again, you can just create a little light up. Pretty cool. All right. All right. Thanks, Mario. So this was also a great thing. This is a etc. tag from Stampers Anonymous. This one is colored. Here we've gone in and used clips. Rochelle made this one. But here is the use of those little nails, right? So here you've got those little nails that you can hammer that in. See them right there? And you can just hang these little clips right onto those nails. You can add your favorite photos, postcards. There's the foam stamp. There's some ephemera, some tape, adding the little charms, coins, the bell. But this would be a great piece, a great way that you can display your favorite holiday cards or anything using the etc. tags from Stampers Anonymous. But when you think, why would I want that little hardware? Well, there you go. That's just kind of a cool thing that you can use to hammer into things, especially like this thick board. Great sample. All right, we'll get into some other ones. Check this out. If you're not sold on wood slices yet, I think this will do it. So Paula created this one. This is an Idea-ology framed panel covered in the new paper. Here you can see the use of quote chips, and these are all just dimensional using foam. And then these are the wood slices. Look at that. And the wood slices have simply been embellished, whether you use the metal star, the fluted star, the snowflake, the coin. How cool is that? And then just for some added accent, see these little guys? See these little baubles? Just alcohol inked baubles. Just glued on there so they look like little berries, just clustered. But what a great piece. Isn't that cool? Just to hang up. Really, really cool. So this is how you can see all that stuff used together where you're like, when would I use the quote chips and the wood and the little coins and the stars and the charms and the baubles? Well, there you go. That's a great, great project. Love that. Really good job. I like it. Then we get into some other things. Take a look at this. The box tops. So here's your vignette box top. Okay. These are the finials. So these are the Idea-ology finials that are designed for the vignette boxes. But here, how cute is this? She took a little woodland tree. Paula made this one too. Took the tree, added just some ornaments, glittered it up just using rock candy. She didn't ink this tree. She left it nice and wintry. There's a little paper dolls. That little one just kind of sitting on the ledge. There's a wood slice, little arm on the wood slice, and then using the clipping stickers. And then some of the ribbon. But What a great project that is. And this could either be, if you don't want to use the paper dolls and you had a great vintage family photo, you can cut that out and you could add that yourself. But really cool. Love that. Then we've got some other elements. These are vignette trays. So vignette trays are just larger vignette boxes, except they're not as deep and, well, it's a tray. But this one Paula created. It's pretty big. I'm just trying to kind of show you the whole thing on camera, and then I'll zoom in on some of the details. So this is a tray that's been painted, has paper. This is a mini framed panel. So this is a mini version of this guy. If you're not familiar with frame panels, it's a base and a frame that are separate that allow you to build these together. But I really love the use of a mini framed panel in there. These are the Idea-ology letterpress, you know, those wood letters, but take a look at them. See, they sparkle. Any idea of the sparkle? Well, that is the glitter dust, right? So that is going in, painting on. I said to Paul, I'm like, how'd you do that? She's like, I just painted on the collage medium, dusted it with the glitter dust, and now you've got sparkly letterpress. There's a little woodland tree, some ephemera, the quote chip, and there is another salvage Santa. So look at this one. How cool is that? There's a painted version, there's an alcohol inked version, and there it is compared to just the plain version, right? So this one is just mushroom alcohol ink that's put on there, and she added a little bit of glitter. I'm guessing this is mushroom alcohol ink. I'm pretty sure Paula. Paula's here, so she can chime in if it was something else, but I know that's kind of her go-to. And this has some Distress rock candy on there, so he sparkles too. He's really cool. I know the camera doesn't do him justice, but I love the versatility of seeing something that's just plain resin that looks great as it is, but also the ability to just add that little vintage look, or if you wanted to make it more traditional and color that. Really cool. So I love that. What a great display. And these panels, of course, they stand up. I know it's supposed to stand up this way, but then you wouldn't see it. But yeah, just a fun use. And look at the outer edge. What a great use for the design tape, right? That tape that has the ability to just go in and frame the edge of something. Cool. Great sample. All right, here's another one. I love this one too. So this is the smaller tray. So when you buy the trays, there's 2 in a set. They're nested, so that was the large one. This is the small tray. Paula did this one too. But the trays also fit on the adjustable easel. So remember, the adjustable easel have these little clamps and these wing nuts, and this allows us to slide up and down. So you can go in and you can either use them for the framed panels, but they will also work with your boxes or trays. You just put that in, apply the pressure, and screw that on. So you can use it onto this. But here's what I love about the details. There, again, is one of those paper dolls. Paula loves to tint these with distress markers. There's that mini tree in one of the Idea-ology decorative domes, because yes, that tree is designed to fit into the dome. You can see that little quote chip. There's a small vignette box, but look in here. The little wood slice behind the deer. She used some of the little baubles right there. Just painted those. And see the baubles here? Again, the camera's not even picking it up, I can tell. These are sparkly. So these have just been painted with collage medium and rolled in rock candy glitter to look like little snowballs. So even if you don't want to turn those baubles into ornaments, you can turn them into snowballs. How cool. And then just use just the little botanical flowers on there. Really cool. The little bouquet. Yep, whether you want to glitter them or whatever. So cute. Now the outside, I hope she doesn't mind that I share this. It's a great trick, Paula. The outside, because she wanted this to be really dimensional, this is using a layering stencil from Stampers Anonymous. This is using the polka dot layering stencil and grit paste. And that really allows you to create, it's textural on the outside, which is really cool. So keep that in mind. If you're ever wanting to create something large and you don't want to use your papers, you want a bit more of a pattern, use your stencils for that. And using the grit paste on that, really cool. So that's just painted first, and then the grit paste stays white on there. But that's how this outside was done, because she wanted bigger polka dots than the paper. Yeah, snowballs. Isn't that clever? Really cute. Gosh, so much detail. Very talented friends. All right, so I've got one more sample. This one's it. We'll finish on a high with this one. This is a really awesome sample, and this is also a class that Rochelle will be teaching, so check out her blog. But this is a mini configurations book covered in the paper, but look at all the detail of this. Here we've got the paper. Here you can see the use of the flashcard. There's distress crayon around there. There's that wreath that's been alcohol inked. Can you see that it's got some green and red? When we open this up, How clever is this? Can you see that? The Christmas tree using wood slice as a base, and these are all just quote chips, just ranging in size from small to large to make a tree. And then she just added a Sizzix die cut star out of deco sheet. But look at that. How clever is that? So cool for the inside. And then we've got the book itself. So here, taking the trees. Now, these trees use a little glitter dust. There's the alpha dice. There's a tiny little paper dolls. The deer. Now, the deer are behind a little piece of acetate. There's glitter in there that rolls around. I don't want to shake this up. But we've got more paper dolls. Here you can see the little tiny bells used. There's those little beaded berries. I told you. They're cute. You're going to want them. And then here is one of those vignette box tops. So as I mentioned, even if you don't have the vignette box, you can use the box top over this large insert in this particular tray. And then there is her painted Santa, the trees. There's even a Sizzix die cut. I mean, I'm not going to give away all the secrets, but it's really cool the use that she used a Sizzix die for the background there. And of course, this little guy, let me reach behind here, trying to, there you go. It lights up. Can you see that? Can you see the little backlight? I don't know if you, there you go. Really, really cool. So just, I don't know, so much detail, so much fun on creating the samples. Seeing all of these really great projects kind of come to life, whether you're making configurations or vignettes or you're doing cards. I love of course, the box tops. That's just going to be something really great. A lot of people are going to use ideas for wood slices, things like that. There's so much inspiration coming your way, I assure you. Even though I know this was a very, very long video. I said tomorrow, I go, there's no way I'm going to swing this in an hour. An hour and a half, that's not too bad. But there's just so much cool stuff to see. That's what I really love about this. And I'll show you real quick the little trucks that I did. So these guys, I still took the woodlands, but I used some vintage mica on the trees. You can buy mica. Well, if you have a box of vintage mica, that's cool, but you can also go on Etsy and just buy mica, but that's why I wanted something a little chunkier and just threw those into a truck. But so many great details of utilizing all of this ideology stuff. That to me is really, I think, what's so cool is not only seeing all of these great products. I mean, look at this. It's just piles and piles of stuff, but also seeing them come to life and kind of learning different ways to alter it. I'll go back to our glitter real quick because it's over here. I see it up on the table. I'm just going to give it another little stir just to kind of break up the chunks just to show you. But yeah, you're back to sparkly glitter. Yep. So, totally works. All right. Wow. That was something. That was something. But I knew it was going to be, there go your trees. I knew it was going to be a doozy. There's just so much stuff to show you. And I mean, we had stuff all over the studio. We had everything. Look at that. Everything. Every little shelf was covered because, well, you guys are worth it. That's really what it is. I love not only designing products. I have a great team. A huge shout out to people at Advantis, Laura, Tracy, Raina, Chris, everyone that just makes it all happen. And of course, Paul and Rochelle and Mario, my team, for just really kind of coming together and bringing products. I think it's really been a great thing, especially for the industry, because you just don't see a lot of cool, at least I don't, a lot of cool different seasonal stuff. You see paper and stamps and stuff, but having all of these weird things, I'll call them weird because I like them, wood slices and salvage Santas and fringe and all that, and seeing it come together, that is what I hope inspires you for the holiday season. And we have a lot of sharing planned. I've got some talented designers from all over the world that are making samples for Halloween and Christmas, and we're going to start sharing stuff just about every day leading up to the holiday season. I know this is a Christmas day because we're showing the release, but we're going to jump right back to Halloween this week and start sharing some Halloween examples. And if there's links to some of the designers did tutorials, so I'll be sharing that. Hey, Jan. So just be prepared to be overly inspired, which is cool. So I want to thank you guys again. I'm humbled every single time I do Facebook Live and I get more than a person because it's a lot of stuff and I'm like, they're going to be so sick of me. But I wanted to incorporate those demos because it's a great reference. You can always come back and watch this again when you get the stuff and see how the stuff is made and put together and inspired. So wishing everyone a great day and a very creative holiday season for Halloween and Christmas. Thanks again, you guys.
See you guys.
See you later. Bye.